trusted her with my baby. She took my husband instead. You know that moment when you realize the person you trusted most was planning your replacement the whole time? Yeah, this is that story. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm sharing something that, honestly, it still makes my chest tight when I think about it. But I've learned that sometimes the stories that hurt the most are the ones that teach us the most about who we really are. So here's what happened. 3 years ago, my entire life imploded. Not because of some dramatic accident or tragedy you see coming from a mile away. No, this was the quiet kind of betrayal. The kind that happens in your own home, under your own roof, while you're literally in the next room trying to hold everything together. I'm talking about the day I discovered that my husband was in love with our Nanny. And before you think you know how this story ends, trust me, the twist that came 3 years later, I never saw it coming. Nobody did. Let me take you back to the beginning. Picture this. Seattle, 2019. I'm 31 years old, running a successful digital marketing agency that I built from scratch. My husband, Marcus, he's a senior software engineer at one of the big tech companies. We've got this beautiful craftsman house in Ballard, and we just welcomed our daughter, Sophie, into the world. Life was intense in that good way, you know? That we're building something real, kind of intense. But here's the thing about having a newborn when you're both working demanding jobs. Something's gotta give. My mom lives in Florida. His parents are in Arizona. We were on our own. And after about 6 months of barely sleeping, surviving on coffee and sheer determination, we made the decision to hire a nanny. Enter Madison. 26 years old, just finished her early childhood education degree. References that checked out perfectly. She was soft-spoken, nurturing with Sophie, and honestly, I was so grateful for her. I remember thinking, thank God we found someone we can trust. Yeah, trust. That word would come back to haunt me. Those first few months, everything seemed perfect. Almost too perfect. You ever get that feeling? That quiet voice in the back of your head that whispers something's off, but you can't quite put your finger on it? It started small. Marcus would come home from work and immediately ask where Madison was. Not, how's Sophie? Or, how was your day? But, is Madison still here? Then I noticed he'd changed his schedule. Started working from home more. Said it was because he wanted to be around for Sophie's milestones, which, God, I wanted to believe that so badly. One afternoon, I came home early from a client meeting. Found them in the kitchen together. Nothing inappropriate. Madison was making coffee. Marcus was leaning against the counter, but the way they both jumped when I walked in, the way they suddenly had nothing to say. That night I brought it up, tried to keep my voice calm, reasonable. Hey, I noticed you've been spending a lot of time with Madison lately. He looked at me like I'd lost my mind. She's our employee, babe. I'm being friendly. Would you rather I ignore her? And just like that, I was the crazy one, the paranoid wife. The insecure woman who sees threats where there are none. 2 weeks later, I found the texts. I wasn't snooping, and I hate that I feel the need to say that, but I do. His phone was on the counter, face up, and a notification popped up. Can't wait to see you tonight, with a heart emoji. From Madison. My hands were shaking when I unlocked it. There were months of messages, months plans to meet up after I went to bed. Him telling her she was everything he needed. Her saying she'd fallen in love with him. The worst part, they talked about Sophie, about how Madison would be such a good mother to her. Like I was already gone. Like I was just an obstacle to remove. I confronted him that night. No yelling, no throwing things. I just asked, "Are you in love with her?" He couldn't even look at me. That silence was answer enough. 3 weeks later, we were signing divorce papers. I asked for one thing, full custody of Sophie. He didn't fight me on it. Honestly, I think he was relieved. 80-7 days after our divorce was finalized, Marcus and Madison got married. I had to rebuild my entire life from scratch. So 3 years pass. 3 years of therapy, of learning to co-parent with a man I barely recognized anymore, of building my daughter's world on a foundation of just me, just us. I'm not gonna lie and say it was easy. There were nights I cried so hard I thought I might break, but there were also mornings when Sophie would climb into my bed, smell like baby shampoo and sunshine, and I'd think, we're gonna be okay. I stopped asking mutual friends about Marcus and Madison. Didn't check social media. I'd heard enough that Madison had quit her nanny job to become a full-time influencer, that their house was always full of expensive things, that Marcus looked tired all the time. Then one Tuesday afternoon, my phone rang. A number I hadn't seen in years, Marcus's mother, Linda. "Sweetheart," she said, and her voice was shaking. "I know I have no right to ask this, but can we meet, please? I need to talk to you face to face." Every instinct told me to say no, but something in her voice, this desperate, broken quality, made me agree. We met at a coffee shop in Fremont. And what she told me changed everything. Linda looked like she'd aged 10 years. Before I could even sit down, she pushed an envelope across the table. Thick, heavy. I didn't need to open it to know it was money. "I need you to help him," she whispered. "Please." That's when she told me everything. How Madison had racked up $60,000 in credit card debt. How she'd convinced Marcus to take out loans against the house for her business ventures that never materialized. How they were facing foreclosure. "He's drinking every night now," Linda said, tears streaming down her face. "He got fired 3 months ago. Won't look for work. I've never seen him like this." She pushed the envelope closer. "This is $20,000. Everything your father and I have saved. Just please bring Sophie around more. Let him see his daughter. Give him a reason to get better." I stared at that envelope for a long time, then I pushed it back. "Linda," I said softly, "I love you. You've always been good to me, but I can't do what you're asking. I'll never stop you from seeing Sophie. You're her grandmother, but I won't use my daughter as motivation for a man who chose to leave us. Here's what I've learned. You can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved, and you definitely can't sacrifice your peace trying to rescue someone who destroyed it in the first place." Linda meant well. She was a mother watching her son self-destruct, and she was grasping at anything that might pull him back. I get that. I'm a mother too, but the truth is, Marcus didn't need me or Sophie to find his way back. He needed to face the consequences of his choices. He needed to hit bottom and decide for himself whether he wanted to climb back up. And me? I needed to protect the life I'd fought so hard to rebuild, because here's the thing nobody tells you about betrayal. The healing doesn't come from the person who hurt you apologizing. It doesn't come from watching them fail or succeed without you. It comes from you deciding that your peace matters more than their chaos. It comes from you choosing yourself. Again and again, even when people you love ask you to choose them instead. That's not selfish. That's survival. That's wisdom. That's self-respect. So if you're listening to this and you're in a situation where someone's asking you to set yourself on fire to keep them warm, you have permission to say no. You have permission to walk away. You have permission to choose peace. If this story resonated with you, leave a comment below. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. and subscribe for more real talk about relationships, healing, and finding yourself again after everything falls apart. Remember, your healing is not responsible for anyone else's redemption. Take care of yourselves out there. I'll see you in the next one.